Cast of Smite Prime 2020. I'm Fuzzy Wuzzy here. Along with me is the beautiful and wonderful Lermy Wormy. And we got a great matchup between Ooga Booga I'm a Spooter, who we've seen numerous times, and Knee High Socks.
I'm really excited to see this matchup here. We definitely have seen Mr. Spooter on the cast here several times as they've been a consistent top placer, and this Hebo is going to be another top contender here for the bans as he's taken out first.
Halbois, very important ban in this 2v2 Joust meta, but look at that Yamoja, making sure that there's a drought on the Joust map with Bacchus also being banned out, so no one's going to be drinking any of that water. This is a total Jithin stream right here for you, as Achilles will also go ahead and be banned out for Knee High Socks. So now Ooga Booga's taking their time on this next pick. What would you normally expect out of this 2v2?
Honestly, I might see something like a Naja because he is pretty good at both clearing and having really easy to secure CC. So that could be something to look for. Or just another assassin to kind of provide that physical damage. Because between the two characters, having a mage for that clear is super important. So when you see a typical 2v2 comp, I really like to see the focus on that. But it looks like we are going to see Aphrodite taken away, as that is certainly a character that does go for those 2v2 matchups because she can have that soulmate constantly around her.
Always around her, and always just constantly healing her teammate as well, just making sure that they're always connected at the hip. And Persephone has been pretty potent as of late in Conquest and Joust and Duels, and especially in the 2v2, just making sure that you're binding one target in a web of craziness and the other one just saying, nah, you just get to stay in that general vicinity, is definitely going to be very potent as well. So Knee High Socks don't want to deal with that. So now we go back to Ooga Booga with the Spooters. Do you think they might ban a Spooter, or do you think they might play Set All Arachne?
I don't think Arachne is very strong in this meta, but someone that I do think is very strong is Isis, and I would not be surprised to see her get eliminated here, especially because she does have that circle of protections, but Fenrir is going to be the choice here, and while Fenrir does have that great ultimate, there are certain gods in the game that do have the ability to CC cleanse, and even before, last year we saw Fenrir get picked in one of our tournaments here at SMITE Prime, and he didn't actually do so hot, so I'm kind of surprised to see this ban.
They might be looking at something specifically into that comp that Fenrir plays really well into, maybe someone who doesn't have a lot of CC or even a CC immune ultimate, as Erlong Shin will be banned out for knee-high socks. So now we're in the pick phase of this match as we wait for the first pits, but
Ooh.
we don't have to wait long as the bat from hell himself, Camazotz, is going to go ahead and get locked in.
Now, the reason that you see Camazotz here is basically because he got a humongous buff this past patch, in that he got an increased length of his jump, and I believe he also got a little bit more power on one of his first two abilities, but I'm honestly surprised to see him in this format just because he kind of lacks CC. The only real CC he has is a slow, and of course, the greatest CC of all, death.
Like, that is the greatest CC of all, to make sure that the enemy team's screen goes gray, but that bat of hell does get him out of the damage ability, and he's able to also swoop in and try to secure those kills. So knee-high socks are taking their time with the response, trying to see if they can figure out something that can not only counter the healing from Camazotz with those pulls and the bats that he's able to put on the buffs, as well as just on the enemy team. They're making sure that they're really selective on these picks. What would you want to see out of knee-high socks?
Honestly, I talked about these guys before, but Isis and Naja together make a devastating combo. Between the two of them, they have so much CC, and they combo with each other super well because you bring someone up in the sky with the Naja ult, and they come back down into a fully charged circle of protections, and boy oh boy, you do not want to be caught in that.
You certainly don't want to be caught in that, but they're still taking their time. They're really making sure that they have the exact gods that they want to play with right now into this Camazotz. I wouldn't be surprised if...
Oh, okay.
I am a little surprised about that, as Ali and Hera will be locked in for knee-high socks.
That's really surprising to me, actually. The Kali pick, at least. The Hera pick, I can see because she does a lot of long-range damage to support her team. So even while she's running away, she will be able to kite pretty effectively. But the Kali, we don't really see that very often. And that's basically because she is a very late-game god who does not have much pressure in the early game, especially in a lane. So I'm concerned here for this comp, but if they're confident enough to do it, then by all means, go for it.
They must be very confident in it because they picked it. Now Ooga Booga are thinking, what can we do to shut down this Kali early? And what can we even do to shut down this Hera early? Hera in the mid game has been pretty potent as well with Argus and making sure that Argus is doing area of effect damage. What would you want to see out of Ooga Booga just to counter the Hera specifically?
Honestly, I want to see a mage with some self-peel, some movement abilities, and it looks like we're going to see the Poseidon, actually, which is kind of strange in some way, but also in not, because he has both the movement speed from his passive as well as the Kraken, which will provide himself a lot of peel for this Kali, should she want to dive on him. And it looks like the fight's already starting before the waves get here, forcing out a jump from both sides, but Hera's trying to get aggressive.
As Hera continues to get aggressive, the Trident not going to connect too much on the damage, but Face was taking a lot of damage as he's going to transform into a turtle, but just going to go ahead and heal up off the minions with those bats. As he's trying to get some target, as Kali's going to go in, miss the incense. Kali has no mana, so she's going to have to play a little bit back now, but Lovely right now, and Snow still looking aggressive on the Face.
Not a shocker here that the Kali's trying to play aggressive early, but that's only because she has to. If she doesn't get any sort of a lead here, she will be in trouble, so she's just trying to press her luck as much as possible, and in doing that, they do obtain the med. Jump away from the Camazotz to avoid the polymorph. It's going to be good. Level 4 on the bat. Right now, having that little bit of advantage might be just enough to help them get this red buff, but it looks like the wave is cleared. Both members of knee-high socks have hit level 4.
Here we go, as Snow's going to try to look for something right here. Hera's going to go ahead and try to throw out the actual transformation. The hammer coming out. The whirlwind, the whirlpool, excuse me, to keep everybody there. But look at Snow right now. Snow's going to die as Laconium is going to pick up Snow for that first blood. As the fight still continues, Hera trying to get some damage on the Face. Face right now at 100 health, and he's going to be able to back Luconium trying to give him a little bit of peel to clear those minions as Face walks away scot-free.
Maybe not, because Hera's trying to poke right back, but unfortunately they're not going to be able to stop Face from backing. But Luconium's not ready to give up this red buff just quite yet. Lovely is taking some damage from this red buff, but oh no, she didn't leash it properly, so the red buff actually still was leashed at half health there, but scared of the incoming Kali. Luconium not really wanting to take that fight.
As both parties right now will go ahead and continue to farm. Hera is level 5, so Argus is ready for her, but just not enough mana for this current engagement. But Bat Out of Hell is ready for Face. The leap is just off target, but Snow making sure they didn't take any damage from that leap to get the heal back from Face. Really passive play from Snow when Hera's not around, and when Hera's around, she wants to be very aggressive on this Kali.
One thing to consider here is that the Kali does have Blink. That will not be able to save her from a Kraken should she not be able to pop that ultimate. So should the destruction not be on time, then there might be an issue. Nice stun there from Snow, but not going to be enough as she takes a ton of poke. Face getting polymorphed, but up into the sky goes the bat, and Luconium is able to secure the kill there on the back of Luconium's damage, or Face's damage rather.
Right now, Lovely is dancing around. The meditation comes out. The Aegis, the Trident, the Whirlpool. The Whirlpool doesn't connect, but the beads from Luconium to try to do more damage. One auto would probably do it, as the minions are going to go ahead and just fall back into that tower. But Luconium right now is tanking the red buff. He's able to push it away with the tidal wave, and the red buff will finally fall to the side of Ooga Booga.
Watch out though, here comes the blink from Snow. His Face has got no mana. Polymorph on the mark, but Face is going to be able to leap away with just the skin of his teeth left on that health bar and mana bar to be able to get that leap off. Blue buff looking to be invaded maybe, but Lovely actually back, so it looks like Snow's going to be all by herself here, clearing those minis on the left.
And that's a great call from Snow, realizing that Hera had to back, so she's going to try to find farm somewhere else. And that neutral farm on the left-hand side is very good, as right now, Face just trying to spread out his passive a little bit onto this blue buff, as the blue buff will fall here in a second. Luconium was trying to knock it down so that, you know, Face could get some experience, but it just didn't work. So in these next engagements, Luconium and Face have been really just on point with each other. What should Knee-High Socks do to combat this problem?
They really just needed to be a bit more patient there. Snow was not prepared for that fight, as the destruction actually wasn't able to go off because Kali is so mana hungry. She almost needs to pay a lot more attention than she normally would to that. But as she's picked up the Hydra's Lament here, it might be a little bit easier, as the passive on that item does help you gain a lot of MP5.
Right now, no aggression from either team right now. Just trying to push through, see what we got as the instance comes out onto Snow. Snow's going to go ahead and get whirlpooled, but she's going to be able to get out of it and jump. But Argus coming in from the side. Luconium trying to run away. Face body blocking because he is starting to build a little bit more of a tanky Camazotz, as Argus is just ticking away at the health. But Argus is pretty low right now. Fist coming out. The transformation will hit on the Face, but no follow-up from Snow. Realizing that she's only level 6, she's just going to have to back off. But Face isn't done yet. The hammer, the fist of justice from Argus coming down. The instance onto Snow. Luconium will go ahead and get there. Snow's gonna go ahead and try to box the Kraken. The destruction from Kali keeping her alive, but Face isn't done. Bat out of hell. He's going down 1. He goes down 2. He goes down 3 as Face will get the kill. He is gonna go ahead and get transformed under tower. The tower shot will not go, but the meditation keeps the mana alive.
Wow, what a well-timed destruction there from the Kali, but unfortunately Face still had that Bat out of hell, so being able to effectively dive the tower there is the strength of the Camazotz. And altogether here, Luconium is not giving up on the pressure, as he is now sitting pretty at 2-0-1. One quick thing I want to mention though, when Argus comes down, he is pretty quick, especially if Hera has activated his 3, but because of Luconium's build here, he did build into those speed boots, and that's going to help him run away fast as can be. That's another thing that I love about this Poseidon pick here, is that between his passive and these movement speed boots, he is going to be zooming.
Not only, you know, you always think of Poseidon as the movement speed as fast boy. You know, you got bad out of hell, now you got fast out of hell. As the Argus will go ahead and drop back in. Snow already pretty low right now as transformation does hit onto Face. Lovely's gonna go ahead and try to back off and protect Snow. Snow 2 levels down from Face and 1 level down from Luconium. Really can't do too much as Argus is now having to play defensive. The Kraken coming out just off the target, but the tidal wave will hit. Snow having to leave at 200 health. Just unfortunate, but look at Face diving in, trying to go in. It looked like Blink was used to try to escape. Right now, Face is just in between a rock and a hard place between this tier 1 and Phoenix. He's just gonna go ahead and proxy farm as Poseidon will casually walk in and tank tower to try to get minions to push in.
Oh my god, that damage was a little close there for Snow. Well aimed Screech from Face to try and maybe grab a kill there, but unfortunately they're not enough damage for the Bat. But the Bat will go ahead and pick up this blue buff as Luconium already has a red buff. So between the two of them, they're looking like they're sitting pretty on top of a good old 2,000 gold lead.
And 2,000 gold lead in a 2v2 is pretty hard to come back from, but it's not impossible. You know, Ooga Booga right now, they still, if you take a look at the tower for Knee-High Socks, it's only down a quarter health. So you still got about maybe a little bit above half, I should say. So you still got a little bit of time to try to figure it out. And if Kali starts snowballing anything at all, any sort of lead, she can become an unstoppable force as Face, realizing that Luconium is here. The Whirlpool, the Kraken, Snow will fall to the Kraken as Ducky comes out of the end. But right now, Face is trying to keep on to Lovely right now. But he's just going to go ahead and clear and cleave the Archer minions. Might look for some aggression onto Lovely as the minions are pushing up. Argus coming in, transforming both Luconium and Face. Argus doing a lot of damage, but look at how fast Luconium is going. He is zooming around every sort of damage, taking tower shots, but Lovely able to defend effectively.
I just can't even take the Poseidon seriously when you see him zip it and zooming around like that. He's building into the rings, and although rings no longer have movement speed anymore, it is going to help him with a little bit of attack speed. But Blink in here from the Kali, great pushback to try and get her away, but look at him zoom away. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get the last hit there is Snow, as Snow goes down to Bat out of hell just too damn fast.
Poseidon is the new Mercury. Fast as bleep, boys. As look at the Bat's damage, just doing so much to Lovely as Face. The heal comes back and he heals 200 off of those Bats. That's an impressive heal right now for Face, and this is an impressive showing for Ooga Booga. I'm a Spooter.
They have been nothing but clean so far, except unfortunately on the other side, we've got an 0-5 Kali, and truly this is exactly what I thought was going to happen, and Luconium is just ready to keep on going and using that Kraken. Unfortunately does not get the center hit there, so no knockup, maybe trolling just a little bit as the first kill on the board for Knee-High Socks is achieved, and finally Kali's got something going for her.
Well, and this could be the start of something that they want, as Face now is taking a little bit of damage. Snow is trying to go in there to try to get the stun, but won't connect it. They do have a full wave of minions and Argus, as the transformation will come. Face is taking a lot of damage right now from Snow. He's going to have to back up. Argus is with him too. Snow, as right now, Snow is just going to go ahead and focus the tower. A good call. Face taking a lot of damage. Lovely trying to transform. Face will jump over it. He turns on the bubble to try to give him some defense. As Face, look at all the health he's getting back. Destruction coming up. Face is low. Face is at 150. The Whirlpool comes at the slow. As Snow will fall to the tidal wave. As Face is now going into the Lovely. The transformation comes out, but Face is too tanky. Luconium is saying, no, 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 you can't run away with me. I'm super fast. As Aegis comes out. Whirlpool to keep him into the pit, as Lovely will fall to Luconium, and that's a deicide for Spooters.
What a bait from Face, and that's, again, the power of Camazotz. That healing is just absolutely bonkers sometimes, and it doesn't help when your Poseidon's also got that, that item that has the healing on it for your teammate to the life steal.
It's Soul Gem, that's where it goes. That's the Kraken comes up.
The Kraken down there on
that's what we're thinking of, as Face gonna go ahead and clean up Snow. Another deicide comes up, but Hera just go ahead and goes in. It is the Pythagorean's piece. You know, with the new Season 7 changes that are coming up, we're still getting everything figured out, as Argus is gonna go ahead and fall. Bede's gonna go ahead and be used. Lovely is in a really bad position right now, but Argus trying to body block for her as Lovely zooming around, focusing on Laconium. The transformation, Laconium is low as Argus will go ahead and clean up the kill, but Face will clean up Lovely, and that's another deicide for Ooga Booga. And this could very well be the end.
It might be. That was totally worth for Ooga Booga, if I'm going to be honest, because they did get that Phoenix there, and Face is 5 levels above this Kali and has the red buff. Not to mention, there are puddles with his name on it all across that Phoenix area, so should he want to stay in bait, he certainly can, and with the jump down from the Kali, he might just go in.
He was trying to go in. He's looking for the damage. There's a lot of damage from that Sonic comes out. But a lot of damage coming from the Titan as well. But the Cleave will go ahead and heal him as the Blink, the Incense, the Leash. As right now, look at the Bat Out of Hell doing so much damage with the tips. But look at Face. He's at like 30 HP right now. He just hit 100, and he's able to waddle away with just nuggets for health. But he is going to go ahead and back as Laconium now. He's going to look at Hera. Lovely realizing as a horrific emblem was purchased for the Poseidon. Lovely going to go ahead and get Kraken. Lovely's gonna go ahead and fall to the auto attacks. Poseidon's like, where'd you go? I wanted a good bath time with you. And he's gonna go ahead and push up this minion wave. Look for possibly even the Titan.
You hear a lot about how movement speed is a really good stat in Smite, and this is honestly just a showing for it. Even though we might have a little bit of bad choices made for certain members of Ooga Booga, you can certainly see how good movement speed is in certain situations.
You absolutely can, and look at this Relic Dagger that came out of Poseidon as well. Laconium looking for a little bit more of that horrific emblem into the Kraken pop. That's going to be an interesting combination. Right now, Face is alone. Snow jumping in to try to get an instance with the stun off, but just didn't seem to work as there's the instance, there's the beads, there's Argus, but Face says, I'm gonna go ahead and kill you. He's just face tanking Argus as he's gonna go ahead and get transformed into a Harpy. Lovely right now trying to do as much damage as he possibly can. The meditation bait will hit as Face's Cleave will go ahead and pick it up. A double kill for Face, and that's a deicide. Pushing in with minions. Ooga Booga, I'm a Spooter. Looks like they're going to go ahead and try to take this. Fire minions are going to be at the Titan. The Cleave, the damage comes out, the bats, and it will be done with a Bat Out of Hell. Ooga Booga taking home the gold.
What an impressive performance there for Ooga Booga. Between the two of them, they clearly practiced that combination and went through the theory crafting motions, truly, because they thought about the movement speed, they thought about the healing, they thought about all sorts of things in this matchup, and they were totally prepared for it. And while we did see a couple of questionable plays, they certainly knew their way around the meta and truly how to walk over Knee-Eye Sucks.
They really did, and that was very good. Bravo, that was wonderful. And Face definitely was the face of Ooga Booga I'm a Spooter. We're doing so much damage, but really Laconium did outplayer damaged him. But it seems like that Face was just able to stick around more with that mitigated and damage taken. So definitely Face just making sure that he protects Laconium when Laconium wasn't alone, of course, and doing crazy things onto Snow and Lovely, but Face came out and played with a passion, and so did Snow and Lovely. Both teams showing really good potential on both sides.
For sure, and I definitely think that Snow and Lovely has what it takes to compete with Face and Laconium, because I was certainly impressed with the ability of them to coordinate together, and also with Lovely being able to consistently hit that polymorph was really impressive to see. But I really think that the fault here was really with the comp, because Kali just not able to compete with Camazotz in terms of damage numbers and scaling.
Well, folks, that does it for the Battle for Avalon 2v2 Joust tournament. Don't go anywhere. We've got a couple of Conquest games, 5v5, coming at you here pretty soon. Stick around. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
Myself to the night. unfold like a diamond from gold. Maybe you are something I cannot define. Maybe you are the fallen kind. I leave them with violence, the silent side of me. We see where fire starts to breathe. When I would lay in silence, the voice inside of me made me lose my mind right.
We're gonna burn it down. Burn it down. We're gonna burn it down. Burn it down. I killed it, it's murder. I killed it, it's murder. I killed it, it's murder. I killed it, it's murder.
I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker. I killed it, it's murder, go crazy, berserker.
Show them. Change the station with a new shit. Show them. Change the station with a new shit. Change the station.
Welcome back, everyone, to the first 5v5 Conquest game we have for you today. We've got E-Girl Over Everything versus Houdini's coming out of this game.
I'm super excited to see this matchup. Just like our first one, we've got pretty recognizable names on the table, but looks like a recognizable god is going to be taken off, considering Xing Chen is going to be not seen during this matchup.
And Jing Qian is just so potent in these team fights, being able to pick up anybody that doesn't have beads and throw them back into the enemy, or take the enemy and throw them away from the team. Just good peel and good initiation. So it's a definitely good ban for E-Girl Over Everything. Umoja being banned out for Houdini's, as Umoja has seen some pretty interesting bans here because of how potent she is, as well as, of course, everybody's Persephone.
Not to mention Achilles here, just some of these gods that have a lot of CC and a lot of survivability between them, including that Circuit, which can flex in either the support or the jungle. Another god to be taken off the mark here. Really, we're seeing a lot of characters that are safe and have good CC really being prioritized here in our bans. We've got one more left, and honestly, I wouldn't be shocked to see another one of those assassin support like hybrids, or someone who could maybe even invade to be taken off, because while a lot of people don't like invading, it's kind of good without a doubt in my mind. So towards the end of this season, we have been seeing a lot of people going for weirder stats, or strats like Boots 2, going to the red buff, or going to the speed buff and trying to invade. And so Erlang Shen, another one of those more assassin-y type support characters that, once again, can flex. Not surprised there to see him getting taken off.
But Thor and Isis are still available. E-Girl Over Everything, making sure that they take their time with this first pick, because Thor and Isis are both priority picks and priority bans in some of these games. So maybe Houdini's is trying to pick something out right here to see if they can maybe even secure one or both, as Thor will go ahead and get locked in, as now Houdini's will take the next two picks.
Like you said, we've got the Isis available, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that, but I also would not be shocked to see something like a Jormungandr picked up here, because he just has a ton of damage, a ton of safety, and Camazot's going to be the selection here, probably for the jungle, I would presume, but Merlin going to follow that up. One concerning thing here already is that they've got a ton of damage on the side of Houdini's, but I really would like to see a little more CC come out between the mid-jungle combination. There is a ton of damage, but when you've got a character like Thor that can stun you and just go way over walls using that teleport on the hammer, he might just be able to walk out of your damage and live. So that is truly going to be the question. Will Houdini's grab some more CC to fill out their comp?
Eagle over everything now have the chance to pick up this Isis as Jing Wei, who's still potent in this meta because we are in Season 6 still, folks, and Kukulkan. That is 3 top-tier gods that Eagle over everything have over Houdini's, but they do have 2 of their own with Camazotz and Merlin, with this 3rd selection coming out. Do you want to see something of a support to make sure that they're getting that CC as you were talking about, or maybe something in the soul lane, unless that's a Camazotz solo?
I think I would like to go more towards the Guardian direction here because, like we were talking about, CC is going to be super important between these 2 already selected characters. And Uller, interesting that he's getting picked up here. Maybe that's because Houdini's want to kind of hold their Guardian selection so that whoever they want to pick doesn't get countered out in these next couple of bans. But once again, Jing Wei kind of sitting at the tippity top of the Hunters, and anything below that really goes, if you ask me.
You're absolutely right. Jing Wei is just... she's Jing Wei. She can get out of fights, she can be in fights, and then she can do crazy amounts of damage with her ultimate and with her stem from her 2, giving her being able to crit on those autos for free, even without crit once it's up to the 2nd tier leveled of that too. As we're still waiting right now for the second phase of bans right now, as Houdini's will lock out King Arthur, getting rid of that off the table for Eagle over anything.
Just a very strong pick right now, considering that Glad Shield has yet to be nerfed. It still works pretty well with King Arthur, as he's able to heal for days, as one might say. But Khepri also taken off the board here. He does have some decent CC, and another great thing about Khepri is that he can give you a second life. So should Camazotz go too deep, should Merlin want to blink in and use his ultimate to hit a couple of members of the enemy team, that would certainly give them the upper edge to do that. But looks like the bans for Eagle over everything are going to be those defensive supports to really keep their damaging characters alive. And Kumbhakarna on the other side for Houdini is being taken out. And another really high CC character that can just be plain old annoying when he walks up to you in mezzes, and then you're just stuck there for 3 seconds unless someone hits you, and you're like, please, someone hit me. I would like to play the game now.
And that's exactly why Houdini's banned out the Kumbhakarna, because Mez into a Spirit of the 9 Winds is just a fun combo, don't you think? As Ganesha is going to be picked up for Houdini, someone that's got some good CC. He's got the silence and he's got the root with the throw up in the air, the little knock up, and the slow coming out of the ultimate. It's something that definitely Houdini's might need, but a Wheelix going ahead of Beast, a little spicy right now, because Jingwei have a knock up, Kukulkan has a knock up if he can hit the Spirit of the 9 Winds, and now for the final pick for Eagle over everything, is that going to be, it's a Sobek. So is that going to be in a Wheelix solo or a Thor solo from Eagle over everything?
My mind is that it's almost certainly going to be a Thor solo, unless we see something a little funky here and we see Sobek go the solo lane and Thor in the support. I have seen that before, so it wouldn't be too shocking, but I'm going to say it's probably going to be the Thor in the solo, as he does keep that pressure a little bit better than Sobek, because Sobek is more of a stalling character, as he doesn't have a whole lot of damage, really, because he is a Guardian, as we know. So not the best character for the solo if you want to win solo, but certainly a place that you could put him if you just want to throw a Sobek in your comp.
As Ravana will be locked in for Houdini's, and Ravana can just dive into the back line and focus the Kukulkan, and maybe even focus the Awilix if he's able to get the back kick off and the Mystic Rush off at the right time. He's just a CC immune god who's able to get back there, so Sobek and Thor and Jingwei and all of these gods won't be able to counter him as we do go ahead and get put in. We notice that it is a Camazotz solo going up against a Thor solo. So with that, we have Mando versus Heed. Who would you necessarily give the advantage to in that case?
I think the Camazotz will, just because of his sustain. Normally, if he hadn't been buffed the way he does with all of that extra healing and, you know, Glad Shield being as good as it is, I genuinely think that it'll be a lot easier for Camazotz to have his time in the solo lane, because he's going to be constantly healing up there. And that's another thing to consider about this meta, is that we are kind of in a sustained meta where being able to double stack Health Chalices and Health Pots is not eliminated from the game yet. So we are still going to be seeing that as a good pluck there from Sybil. Nesfor is going to get stuck as he doesn't have to jump. Shell was forced there, so good start for the duo lane of E-Girl over everything.
E-Girl over everything, just making sure that the focus stays onto their squishies. Shia had to back off because he took some damage right there from that Ganesh, and he's taking even more damage getting knocked up with the Jing Wei. They might look to pressure into this purple buff right here. Sybil gonna go ahead and take a look and see what they got, but Nesfor is gonna go ahead. There's the blink, there's the plug, but he is just off the mark as Shia's gonna go ahead and get it. Shia is running down at Sybil. Sybil's only escape is gone, but Jing Wei clearing up the minions to be able to not basically keep Sybil alive so he doesn't take a lot of minion poke. Because right now the level difference is now definitely coming up, and that's going to be very interesting right now for Houdinis.
That is one reason that you should typically avoid getting your pluck first in that kind of dual lane matchup. When you don't have that extra clear and it's not really a character that you can kill, I would generally say go for a clear. But nice blink knock up there onto Spreen, and stops, grabs the last hit for the first blood. Great. Just mechanics there from Cope, as we know Cope loves his Awilix, so certainly not surprised to see him on this character and perform super well.
The blink into the feather step into the Zephyr. Sops just playing out of his mind with Cope, who have been just a dynamic duo from day one since season 6, as Heed, look at this, is actually boxing out Manda Warrior, but the Sonic is going to go ahead and miss as the cleaves keep coming, the heals keep coming. But nothing really going to come out of it. But Camus has a lot of pressure into Thor, which is pretty surprising right now.
I would say just a little bit. It might be that Mando is not able to hit those double taps, but that time he did, and certainly Heat is going to pay the price for that, needing to back up a little bit to heal up, which gives Mando just enough time to get onto that totem of Who. Just another little advantage that Mando is going to have to claw his way up from. Oh no, the knockup canceling each other out there in the dual lane. That might have been a kill onto Shia had he actually been pulled, but unfortunately there for Diesel and Sybil, the CCs just canceling each other out.
They do cancel each other out, but Sybil is able to get the pluck onto Nesfor. The leap is going to come out, as right now the root comes out onto Sybil, as she is trying to get something set up for Nesfor, but Nesfor can't really do too much. With Diesel and Sybil both having crazy amounts of abilities there to be able to secure the kills. But Sybil, looking at this purple buff, trying to see if he might be able to get something out of it as the root comes out, as he's not going to be able to get anything. Sybil is now in a little bit of a pickle as Spreen is coming to say hi, but look at Shia, the shell will get popped. Diesel will go ahead and get stunned with the axe. Shia is keeping on the Sybil. Awilix is here. Awilix gets the feather step as Cope Baby picks up Shia. The fight still continues now as Cope Baby is looking weak as Spreen keeping on to him. But the Zephyr coming out as Spreen picks up Sybil. Spreen.
Just a little bit late there on the rotation from Stops. If he had been there a little bit sooner, he might have been able to get that Zephyr off and slow them away, saving Sybil's life. But trading your support for the jungler, not a bad trade there by any means. Was it support for support or support for jungler? Either way, first kill on the board there for Houdini is getting them a little bit on the mark there. Shell was also popped on the side of Houdini's, giving them that little bit of active advantage. Blink still available for Sybil. So between the two, pretty even trade, but he taking that double tap might be in a little bit of danger there. But he's just going to go ahead and leap on the wave to get that humongous stack and heal. The Cope is here. Stun into the blink, into the feather step, into the ultimate. But up in the sky goes Heat. He's got to be careful how deep he goes because Cope still has the ultimate activated. And Heat is now at half health once more.
And that feather step into the double tap combo would have been bad, but Spreen coming around. He sees Cope. He gets the blink, the Mystic Rush, and he's one shot right now onto Cope. He's trying to go for it as he's diving tower. The overhead kick, the Fist of Fury will actually get Spreen the kill onto Cope Baby, but Mando is here trying to hit the double tap. The spin, Thor going up, but look who else is here is Sybil. Sybil trying to spin to win. Spreen will fall to Sybil as Mando goes back to lane. And Sops pinging out the ward, looking for Shia right now, but Shia just gonna be able to back away and get right next back to Z by Rock.
You're seeing pretty even matchup here. 1-for-1 in most of these fights. No real advantage on either side quite yet. We are seeing about 1k for E-Girl over everything, but even so, the levels are not quite different enough to make that much of a change. But Sybil here has got to be careful as Nestor is actually going to get plucked. But oh, nice cancel on the jump there is that knockup. But Nestor going to be just fine. Going to take down that red buff and give it over to his mid laner.
And that was a good try by Sops to hit the Zephyr, but the Zephyr's just going right underneath Nesfor because of that leap, and just an unfortunate play, but Sops is, doing Sops things. Right now, he is 1-0-0, and just been a part of the exact same number of kills, but has the level lead as Shia is trying to get blacked out of this purple buff as Sybil is able to pick it up. And Diesel and Sybil now have a little bit of a lead into this duo lane against Houdinis.
That is something to consider here, is that Sops has really been all over the place trying to get farm in one way or another by participating in some of these fights. And truly, he has gotten kind of what he needs because he's got that Book of Thought on his build now, and he also has the boots now, so he's going to be stacking that, and that's going to be super good to help out with his passive, because we've seen a lot of people that go for this sort of library build where you build a bunch of books, and no character does that better than Kukulkan. So pretty good looks there for the mid laner on the side of E-Girl over everything. But I'm gonna have to see a little more focus from them to keep this invade going, because I really want to see them spiral this lead a little bit out of control, because if we get to that point, then Sops is gonna be unkillable.
And Sops being unkillable is definitely not what Houdinis need. He doing really well into this matchup against Mando Warrior, but Mando Warrior realizing that the rest of the team shows up. Coat Baby gonna go ahead and get the Feather Step. He is one shot. Sybil picks it up as he falls to the support. Deed now looking for a boxing match. The axe, the beads, the leap. Can't really follow up because he's hiding under tower. Was able to get the stem off, but Diesel not being able to connect with any of them as now Sops trying to get these mid harpies and didn't know if it was successful. The blink pluck, the beads too, just too late as now the whirlwind comes up. Ganesh ultimate, Sybil gets another kill. He's on a killing spree. And now Spreen will look like the fall, but the Mystic Rush will miss as Diesel comes over and he's going to get the kill. Nesfor now the target as Diesel gets a double kill as Diesel is now looking for right now Shia, but he's gonna go ahead and go back to the back camps to make sure that they secure more objectives. E-Girl over everything, just absolutely destroying that fight.
That was exactly what I needed them to do there. We said that that red buff was probably going to be the next target for them, and it certainly was. We saw the group up of 3 members of E-Girl over everything to try and pick some people out. An unfortunate timing there for the blink in on the Robin. Went right into the Spirit of the Nine Winds and got practically eliminated just by that, and a tick of the tornado. But thank goodness Diesel was there, and Diesel can hit auto, so he was going to be able to pick up that last hit onto the jungler and just keep on pushing that fight through as Sops actually made it alive out of there with 1 health. Can you believe that?
Sops is a sneaky little snake when he plays Kukulkan, and everybody knows it. And Kukulkan is very, very much a meta pick. So getting away is a little bit unfortunate for Houdinis, but Sops now is almost done building his Book of Thoth. He's got 69 stacks at 9 minutes in the game. Look at Nesfor trying to look for a boxing fight right now with Diesel. The axe just off the mark, but Coat Baby pinging him out. Here comes the blink, the jump, the actual feather step, the beads. But look at this, Coat Baby's not done. He's going in as Coat Baby will get 1 tower shot and a Ganesha ult. He's got the ultimate off. Coat Baby will fall to Shia. Ganesh getting a kill. Something you don't see very often as Sybil in the back is looking at Spreen. As Spreen gets Zephyred by Sops. The whirlwind comes out, but just off the mark as Spreen's trying to get away. Gonna go ahead and dash in. Diesel will pick him up. Rock saying, no, I don't want any part of that. Bye, bud.
And just the right time too, because the red buff is here, and now the red buff is E-Girl over everything because they have just kept up this pressure, and though it cost Cope his life, that was an excellent trade out for the jungler. Maybe a little bit too aggressive trying to pick the fight there with the Ganesh by pulling him back in, but certainly a choice to be made as they did get another kill as well as that red buff like we said. Nestor here being super aggressive on the Diesel despite being 3 levels down. Unfortunately misses the axe there, but causes the airstrike to come out from Diesel to try and get that last hit. Diesel, though, perfectly healthy, trying to see if he can grab this, and Cope once again is here, knowing the beads on the Uller is down. Cope more than ready to jump in as he's got that feather step mark, and another kill for the Awilix.
Cope has been all over this map. Out of the 10 kills on the 4 E-Girl, he has 5 participation. And now granted, the 3 kills for Houdini, 2 of them have come on the back of Cope, but Cope has been just a factor in these fights along with Diesel and Sops. Both of them really just above or at 50% kill participation.
Between the whole team, Cope has really been the one to take the fall for the over-aggressiveness of their team, but regardless, he is getting his carries ahead as we see 3 levels in the ADC and 1 level on the mid. So even though Cope is taking a couple of deaths here and there, he's still doing his job perfectly well, especially when it comes to forcing out the beads from the Uller, who has no other form of CC immunity and a jump. What a perfect target for an Awilix.
And Cope, baby, as you said, has been known for his Awilix play, so he really likes that pickup, as now a Gold Fury will go ahead and get pulled. The Sentry Ward that was there for Houdini's was killed, but the ticks coming out from Sops just too much as Gold Fury will fall, and now it looks like a fight will appear as Sybil is trying to get onto Byrock, but the Flicker was able to get him away. Only a Gold Fury, but as Cope, baby, I spoke a little too soon. He's a little bit round like that. The blade coming out, Spreen body blocking the feather step, but Spreen running away for his life as well. The airstrike coming out, the overhead kick, but the blink right there from Sybil will get the pluck. Spreen is one shot, Mystic Rush will get him out. Sybil down into the Crocodile as he will get a double kill, picking up Nest4 and Spreen, but Sops is now in a really bad place.
Nice double kill there from the Lurking in the Waters, and Sybil, truly the carry of this E-Girl over everything team, now has 5 kills. Double knock up there. Once again, he's going to cancel out the CC, but Diesel is here. Blink in from the Merlin to try and grab that last hit. The fire is burning, but Sybil, another kill, and Diesel, another kill between them. No health, not even 500 health between the 2 characters, but with that little bit of life still from Diesel, he's going to be healthy enough to grab that purple buff and be on his way. But my golly, what a combination from that duo lane.
Sybil, stop! You've been a part of 11 of the 14 kills, and you have gotten the people that you needed to get out. In that case, it was Diesel. You have been phenomenal. Keep it up, and you will continue to win this game. But my God, Sybil playing out of his mind with the perfect timing of everything. The plucks, the actual stuns, the knockups, everything. And Cope, baby, and the rest of the team being able to follow up with him. Sybil is just playing incredible. As now the gold lead is 6,000.
Yeah, we're getting to a point here where gold is starting to get a little bit out of control. We're starting to see an additional item for almost every single character be practically built, if not in their tier 2 form. But we're seeing 2 enemies here group up between Shia and Byrock to try and just keep the pressure away from them. But on the backhand side here between the tier 1 and tier 2 mid towers, we see 3 members of Ego versus Everything group up. Thor all gonna come down into the Wheelix, all getting pulled back, and goodbye Shia. I hope you like having 3 ultimates spent on you. But Spreen is now stuck here. That humongous crit, 470 at 13 hits into the game. Sybil looking around for Spreen, and nice blink for Spreen to get out of there. Immunity on the mark as well. It looks like Spreen will live, but he made the rotation, and Mando was just low enough for him to take it out. The Bat Out of Hell comes through, trying to get damage out of Sops, but Sops, nice Aegis into the Spirit of the Nine Winds, forcing out the Bat, and Diesel will pick him up.
As Sybil right now is fighting onto Nest4, Sybil will go ahead and pick up Nest4, but look who's back in the fight. Spreen is here, and Spreen is evil, as he's gonna go ahead and pick up Sops with the huge crits coming out of Diesel, as Diesel picks up Spreen. Now the target is Merlin. Merlin trying to dip, dive, dodge, and weed, as Shia is gonna be able to root Diesel. Byrock trying to look for some sort of damage, realizing that Sybil is still around. The airstrike, Byrock gets shelled. Sybil getting ohmed right now, as Diesel's gonna take a tower shot. not going to be able to clean up Byrock, but now the target looks to be focused on Shiba as the spin comes out. Shia running away, and that's going to be the end of the fight, and that was a big fight for both teams. And I say that, but Diesel is now being collapsed on. The pillars come out again, the flames, the beats, and the Aegis. Diesel trying to get some sort of crit as he's able to pick up Byrock. She is the only one left. Diesel will pick up a double kill as Diesel picks up 4 kills in the entire engagement.
What is this game? We've seen some insane plays coming out of E-Girl over everything, where they've been seemingly getting out with no health. And honestly, this is all on the back of the aggressiveness from Cope in the early game. If these carries had not been allowed to get even a margin of the lead that they did, we would not be seeing these close calls coming out of them. They would almost certainly be dead.
And think about for a second, as Diesel has Wind Demon. That's what, 10%, 15% crit chance? Not too much. Excuse me, 20%. It's not a lot, and he's getting some big crits with this Jing Wei as Sop's gonna be able to take down the tier 1. The first tower falling for E-Girl over everything. What do you do with your Houdinis? How can you stop this run from Sybil, from Diesel, from Sops, from Cope Baby? Even Manda Warrior came over for that fight.
One of the most important things here is to get everyone on the same page. A lot of people on Houdinis are gonna want to try and just farm it out, but Ultimate coming out from the Spirit of the Nine Winds uses the beat there to try and get away. Kill for Spreen onto Seps, but a nice return kill from Cope onto Heed. Trying to just catch up and get another kill there for Cope onto Spreen. A stun there onto Shia. Will be nice little knockup there over to Cope. Another knockup the combo with that, and a kill for Manda Warrior. That is going to be 3-4-1. Unfortunately, the sneaky snake had to take a little spill there, but that's going to give E-Girl over everything another good chunk of change in their pockets.
And Cope Baby is looking to rotate onto this right side tower. Look at what they're doing! Manda Warrior and Sybil are right now fighting for the kill on Merlin at the Phoenix line. You want to talk about pressure in Season 6? This is pressure in Season 6. But look at that! Uller being able to kill Diesel. A lot of shutdown gold there. And being able to pick up a Gold Fury. Houdinis now have a little bit of a leg to stand on. Only 7k now down.
Wow. I mean, I would say, come on, Diesel, why didn't you do that any better? But he was 8-0 at that point. I mean, surely you would think you could solo the Gold Fury if you were 8-0, but that awareness coming from Nesfor to be able to grab them out there, he is trying to group up with Shia here to maybe get a kill, since they were able to secure their speed buff, but coming right back down is Mando onto both members of the enemy team. Gonna teleport out using the hammer, but Cope is here, and they didn't see Cope at all, so Cope's gonna get a great little knock up there, but not able to pull anyone in quite yet. Trying to pick out Shia, pull there from Cope onto Shia, but in the back, he's got to be careful because Sops is here now. Jump in place from Nesfor, but Cope is so low, and Z-Byrock's going to be able to get the kill with the Vortex there. Mando maybe wanting to go back in there, but he's got a sliver of health to his name, so I don't think that's in the cards for him, but he's going to have to go back.
They're still looking to aggress as Sops is pinging out where everybody is. They look like they're going to try to go for this red buff, but it is down. As now Heed is coming over to try to find Sops. Sops is all alone. Heed looking for him. Heed has found him, but Diesel is saying, I'm here too, you can't go in. As now Houdinis have to completely disengage because everybody is back up, except for Cope Baby right now for E-Girl over everything.
One thing that I was saying earlier was that for Houdinis to get back into this, they need to start working together as a team, and we've been seeing that a lot more in these past couple of minutes. When it comes to playing at this kind of level, you've really got to pick and choose the fights that you take, the battles that you decide to brawl in, and looks like he's not really in the one that he needs to be in right now, because he's going to get picked there by the Croc. His 8th kill of the game. May I remind you that the Croc and the Jing Wei have the same KD at this point.
You know it's a fun time when your support has more kills in your mid lane and is probably giving the support buff, that XP buff, to the mid lane, as Fire Giant's going to go ahead and get started on for E-Girl over everything. It's at 3/4 health. Merlin, Byrock trying to do something. He throws out the Arcane Stance as E-Girl over everything gets the Fire Giant, but Byrock will get Mando. Sybil is now chasing down Byrock. The spin, not going to be on target, but the slow coming out from lurking in the waters is there. The Ohm coming out for Sops. Diesel is here. Byrock was trying to get Cope Baby as he does fall. Byrock got 2, but look right there. Sops is gonna go ahead and look to get Shia. One more auto will do it. The Ohm didn't stay long enough. Sops missing the Zephyr, the shell coming out, the blink from Sybil, the Mystic Rush. Spreen is trying to get onto Sops, but Spreen fails to shave Shia, as Shia will fall, and now this is a rotation to the right side to probably even get this tier 1, but look on the left side, tier 2 falls. Houdini's got the first tier 2 tower down.
Nesfor really trying to get the gold back that he can in this instance by split pushing as much as possible. He's still 2 levels down to his direct opponent, but regardless, those 2 towers getting down now opens up a pathway to the Phoenix. Should there be a good wipe on the enemy team, they now have the ability to walk in and end, but that probably wouldn't happen for a long time considering we're only 20 minutes in this game, and for the enemy to be dead long enough for that to be a viable end strategy would have to be more towards the 40 to 50 minute mark. And honestly, I'm not sure that we're going to get there at this point.
As Heat is looking to just clear these waves right now, trying to make sure that he can get to the tier 2. Big rotation coming out onto this red buff. Sybil keeping Byrock busy. The pluck. Shia is out of position. Manda Warrior is getting damaged right now by Nesfor. Manda Warrior is going to go up. Thor is looking for a target. Thor can't find a target. We'll have to go down and group onto this left tier 1 seems to be the next call.
We have 3 members with this Fire Giant on the side of Eager Over Everything, but what happened to Cope here? He's 2 levels up on this Camazotz, but still feeling the pain. Gonna jump over, get the knockup, but blink there by Heat. Oh my goodness, Cope! You didn't have to do it to him like that, alright?
As Mystic Arrest was used to try to find Cope, Spreen jumping away, can't do too much. Tier 2 tower falls. Frenzy is popped. That is upgraded Frenzy too. The Phoenix trying to get in. The surrender boat has been popped. The Phoenix does fall. Diesel is being massively pushed right now. Trying to find a target and something. Mando trying to get a stun just off the mark. The disengage will follow and possibly a rotation into this mid tier 2.
Looks like that's going to be the next target for them. They've got a couple seconds left on this Fire Giant here, probably around 30 seconds or so. Good wall there from Mando to wall off his teammates, as a good teammate would do. But between that, we've got a level 20 Jingwei with a red buff and a Fire Giant buff. I think this tower is going to go down like a slice of bread. Nice beats there from Spreen to try and get away. Immunity as well to get rid of the Feather Step, but ult in from Mando to tank the tower. Walls down, bud. Where are you going to go? You're pretty much stuck between a rock and a hard place, as we mentioned earlier, but Mando going to help his jungler get another kill there.
Another big crit coming out from Diesel, looking in the waters, trying to get onto Heat. Bat out of hell, pillars used, trying to get something. Sybil's gonna get rooted, taking a lot of tower. Shia getting knocked up, but Byrock is here. Byrock can't do too much. Trying for something, anything, damaging-wise, as Spirit of the Nine Winds comes in and hits Byrock and Nesfor. Nesfor just standing there going, where'd my team member go? They're diving Phoenix when a tier 1 just fell on the right-hand side. Now the rotation looks like it's going to go over to this mid-Phoenix. They could easily secure this mid-Phoenix right now.
There is not a lot of area damage between Houdinis, as they don't have the ultimate for the Ganesh or their mage alive. So between all of that, Sybil's going to be able to tank this up pretty easily, and Sops is doing his best to get that Phoenix down. It's got 1 HP. Nice job there for Diesel to finish off, but Sops is stuck. Age is going to immune the ultimate as Sops is going to run away, but knock up onto Heed, and that Hydra is just cleaving through him. My goodness, Cope. Another kill for the jungler, as on this right-hand side, Mando has pushed up this wave. Tier 2 tower on the right-hand side is gone, and Cope is here to try and grab another kill, and there he goes. Silence not quite good enough. Mr. Elephant Man, you've got to do a little bit better than that.
Right now, Houdini's Titan is under attack. Diesel is in a bad place. Shia trying to keep him in there. Byrock doing a lot of damage. The flames of glory, but Spreen will pick it up. The teleport coming out didn't go through. Cope Baby trying to run away. Shia looking to try to get it on to stop Cope Baby from using Suku to run away. Byrock looking for it. Will back up because he sees a crocodile who's level 19 and Byrock is not level 19.
Goodness me, we've been seeing some plays here during this game, and truly, Cope's not done yet as the wall from Mando is good. The mantle also will stun everyone out, but what are you gonna do when you're a lonely little elephant in the middle of 4 people?
Fire Giant has spawned. 2 Phoenixes down. There's no contention coming from Houdini's. The ultimate pop from Cope Baby. The frenzy pop from Symbol. This Fire Giant will fall very fast. Byrock is alone. Byrock has been seen by Mando, but just gonna go ahead and go to the right-hand side to push up that wave because that seems to be the next call after this Pyromancer.
Tops and Sybil gonna get this down for their team to be able to zoom out of base once they're done. It looks like Sops is gonna grab these mid camps before heading back, but I would assume that that's where they're gonna go next. But Spreen trying to find a pick here at these back camps, but Diesel is more than ready to take on this fight. Ultimate comes out from the Robin, but he's gonna have to overhead kick away. Diesel also pops the ultimate, but Spreen's gonna run the other direction as watch out, here comes the Uller. Nice bladed arrow there to go over the wall, but S4 is not quite done yet. Hammer double tap. Mando's gonna go up in the sky after claiming the bounty there onto Spreen, and he's gonna look around, make sure no one else is coming. Oh, Cope, you already got the kill on the Net4. All right, I guess I'm on the bat now. Done good onto Camazotz, but not really enough damage for this solo Thor to make his mark on the other solo laner, so he's just gonna have to force him out.
The call right now seems to be pushing up into these lanes. Sybil's on the left-hand side of your map looking to get this weakened Phoenix. Heed getting weak. Cope Baby blinking over. Cope Baby getting the kill on Heed. That's 3 members down for Houdini's. They could look to end and push this up the middle.
This
They are
might
gonna
just
go
be
ahead
a
and go
death
left.
sentence here because Sops does have the spirit of the 9 winds. Fire minions are pushing in, and that left-hand side Phoenix is gunned. It's down. Oh my gosh, ultimate's being popped. It looks like we're just fully committing to it here. Spirit of the 9 winds on the mark. Rock does get Diesel, but Sops also grabs the Merlin on the end. Blink in there to try and grab Shia. Mando gets Shia. One more hit on Spreen might do it, and Sops with the double kill in the end. My goodness, Eagle everything. What a match.
Well, folks, that was the semifinals as well. And Eagle over everything showing complete and utter dominance from minute 1 to minute 30. It was just the Eagle over everything show, and Houdini's just happened to be watching it the entire time. There were some good plays, though, from Houdini's, but they really couldn't push past that early game pressure that Eagle over everything had.
Truly, although we did see Cope take a couple of deaths in the beginning there, it really was to help his mid and ADC spiral their lanes out of control, and that is exactly what we saw. Not to mention, we saw a lot of synergy between Sybil and Diesel. Those two have been stuck together like glue for the longest time, and we certainly saw them pop off that whole time. My goodness.
Well, folks, that was the semifinals for the Conquest 5v5. Ignore what you're seeing there on the screen. It was the Conquest 5v5. We do have the finals coming up for you. Stick around. We'll be back with you in just a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, but we're just showing the stats of this last game. Eagle over everything. Coming out really on top, as you could take a look at the gold difference, the kill difference, the level difference, and even the item difference coming out. Only Nes4 able to do anything out of that. And as we take a look at the player damage, who really stood out on top in that last game?
Sops just barely nicked that player damage up to the top there, but Diesel and Cope, between the two of them, very close as well. Not surprising to see, but you know what was surprising? The amount of kills that Sybil stole that game. Come on, man, you're a support.
It wasn't kill stealing, it was cure securing. Because you have to out farm your mid laner by 1 gold per minute any chance you get, right?
For sure, but we do want to give props there to Sybil for the amazing performance on the Sobek, as we did see a couple of sick plays from each member of E-Girl Over Everything, between Cope jumping into that 1v1 versus Heat and coming out alive, or Sybil getting the double kill with the Lurking in the Waters. Between all of that, what a phenomenal performance from E-Girl Over Everything.
Well, folks, that is the stats from the last game. Stick around. We're going to bring you the finals of the 5v5 Battle for Asgard, I believe, Conquest map in just a minute. Stick around. We'll be back with you.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, and if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I
feel the rain crashing down. All around this empty town, we're searching for the lost and found. But you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air, like a blazing flare. Just stare, cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares too. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the storm.
Hello and welcome back to the Battle for Asgard. My name is J Mac Tucker. With me, Lermy Wormy, and it's E-Girls are greater than everything versus Team Gilly. All right, Lermy, we're gonna start this off. What's his team name?
You know what? I'm not sure, but we saw them pop off last game, so maybe this is the team name that's blessed for them, whereas other team names in the past might have been a little bit cursed. So perhaps this might be the one that sticks.
I don't see Hythe on this team though. Like when I think E-Girls all over the place, I'm thinking Hythe #1, but we're not seeing him here on this team. But over here to the dual lane, Kronos Horus matchup here against Athena Jing Wei. We don't see too much Kronos as of recently.
No, we do not, but certainly a good matchup to bring with a Horus to say if you got CC for days should the Horus get that CC locked down. And considering that Sybil has started with his 2, their clear is going to suffer just a little bit, but able to push him back as Stewart's beats have already been forced and the wave is finally cleared here. So now that the 2 of them are healing up, Diesel and Sybil will once again be even in this lane.
A lot of blinks here in this matchup. We see them both from the support as Sybil goes to the dash in with the fracture. Gets a little bit of damage on the Quig, but nothing too big. Typically, we see one of 2 starts with that Horus. We either see the blink or we see the Sunder. But in this case, we're going to see the blink and Sino taking quite a lot of damage here. Cope on this Robin. A lot of early damage, a lot of early CC under the wall of go, but a follow-up blink by Cope. A good heal out of it, but Pagon's not enough to stop it. And Cope will pick up first blood for the E-Girls.
Absolute big brain move there by Cope, realizing that Sino was trying to look for a dash under the wall there. And one thing that we haven't quite mentioned yet is Hades is in the jungle, everyone. This is something that Sino is definitely a proponent of, is that he likes to pick some of these weird characters, so Sino thinks it's good. It might just be good, but unfortunately there did not look so hot there since he was not able to get out alive trying to go for the big brain play, but as we saw, Cope's brain just that much larger.
Yeah, you got a lot of damage on the Hades early, sure, but you don't really have any CC where you're going up against Robin, who at 2 levels has 2 forms of CC. Sybil trying to take away this mid camp, holding on to that second swing. Not going to be enough there. Mid camps will go the way of Quig. And Sop's taking quite a lot of poke here on this Persephone in the mid lane. We've seen a lot of Persephone bans in the past, but this time we're finally seeing her through.
That is true, but also we gotta take a look at her direct lane opponent as Pigon is gonna be rocking the Hell. Last time that Hell was in meta, it was not a fun time, but let me tell you, Hell is back and perhaps even here to stay with the changes coming next
No.
patch, but currently,
No.
she rocks.
Please no, I don't want to see Hell anymore. Like, it's fine when we see it on Paul, you know, it's kind of Paul's go-to for I don't even know how many years at this point. It's fun seeing it as like the niche single person pick. I don't want to be seeing this every single game.
She just does so much early game damage that I would not be surprised to see her a little bit more. But considering the fact that should she make it to late game, she's going to be an absolute terror, especially with that cleanse. Being able to cleanse a full ability from the Persephone, like that ultimate, just being able to completely nullify that cripple is going to be so incredibly helpful should his team be ready for it. So I think that we're going to have to see a lot of focus onto this Hell for her to really be ineffective. But with that first kill going to E-Girl over everything, we might just see that happen.
Invade over at the purple buff on that top side looks like they will be successful in stealing in. Sybil will refresh his buff around his waist. Good stun on the Sino will keep him from being able to continue the engagement. But really that matchup there that you mentioned with the ultimate out of stops basically being negated by Pagon's Hell. If he can time that cleanse right, he can negate even being rooted from it to start it all out if he can get that timing for it. A matchup we don't get to see too often, mostly because we typically see Persephone ban. Also, we don't see too much Hell over anything else, but waiting until, I'd imagine a couple of items are online for this Persephone before we really see any brawls in the mid lane. I imagine Divine Ruin will be a very early rushed item, and ultimate out of Mando.
Interesting matchup here in the solo. I have never really seen a Hoonbot solo be played at this level, so it's certainly something to consider here. Maybe it was the thought process of, oh, let's give a little mix-up. We're going to go for the Hades solo, but actually it's the Hoonbots, and just all together, they have a big chunk of teamfight CC. Imagine throwing a Fear No Evil on top of a Hades ultimate, a Pillar of Agony. Could you just think about getting sucked back into it? Like,
I don't want to imagine a world where I'm probably the one in the middle of that if I was playing this game and be like, hey, see that guy over there? Drop everything on top of him. I mean, you've got an Athena ult to provide protections to the Hades, who's already getting a massive amount of protections, and Mando taking a little bit more than he could handle there. Sino picks up a big double kill on the jungle Hades thanks to the help of Russian Poppy to make sure to secure their blue buff. Now Sybil kind of left out to dry here in the solo lane. Gonna take a little bit of damage to taunt in after the blight. The overhead smash is good. Sybil barely has that timing for the Protector Surge. We'll get back to the safety of his tower, but not before the blue buff falls to Team Gilly.
excellent grouping there from Team Gilly to try and get that little bit of advantage, but Dewar getting forced out into the airstrike there, having to get away super low. Looks like he was just plain outboxed there. Forced into the ultimate too. That's going to be a bad look there for the duo lane for a Jing Wei, who is typically thought of as the tippity top of the ADC meta. To be forced out like that, really incredible to see from Diesel, but it looks like Stewart actually did pick up his own purple. So good secure there from the Jing Wei, using that passive to get back right away.
Yeah, that's the only problem whenever you outbox the Jing Wei is, all right, cool, you outbox the Jing Wei, but here she is, raring and ready to go one more time. Didn't even really lose out on any experience in that lane. Got straight back to it, even got the purple buff like you mentioned. So it's almost like that fight really didn't even happen. Just help Stewart go back, maybe refresh his health a little bit, pick up wards, and Cope picking up a little bit of too much damage. Asino putting the hands on him with the Hades. Sybil again under the tower, half health. Stops rotating over, will stop the fight.
Quake looking like he wants to maybe see if he can do something here, but with Sino stealing away those back camps, looks like he's just going to back on out of there before the rotation from Mando comes around, as since you're Hades, you do have the CC immunity there in your ultimate, but you're not the best at getting away, especially when you've got a Blink and a Mystic Rush from the Robin to keep it on. So perhaps not the best choice there to fight, and truly the correct decision there was made by the Hades jungle.
I'm curious to see the build paths we're going to be seeing out of some of these players. I imagine this Persephone's going to go, and there's the Fear No Evil into the Pillar of Agony you mentioned previously. Cope just barely going to get that Mystic Rush off, get himself back to safety. Under a quarter health, though, Civil will use that Protective Surge to get a little bit of healing. Mando now caught in the middle of all of them. Low health, low mana, and a jump over the last shot. The ult from Sops is only going to cage in Quig, but he's not even concerned about it because there's an Athena ult protecting him throughout it all. Mando Warrior falls from playing a little too overzealous trying to save his teammate.
Nice rotation there from P-Gun on the Hell as well, being able to out-rotate his mid lane opponent. Truly had a little bit more of an effect there since he was able to at least cleanse the Amaterasu ultimate from one of his teammates. Truly, Hell's starting to shine here. I think Hell's pretty good right now.
I don't like you saying that because I know it's true. I know what you're saying is true here, but I just don't want to admit it because for so long we have seen it's either Hell is ridiculously overpowered in every situation, you never want to see it touched, or you just never see it touched aside from Paul, who's really the only noteworthy player who's played it consistently, I would say, throughout time, aside from, Wolfie 2032. But we're talking at the major top-end level here. Paul is about the only big-name player. Okay, Aurora support. Aurora support, I'll give him that.
Emilzy was like the founder of Hell.
And a Millsy. We can give credit where credit's due onto that. But as far as consistently throughout all of time, Paul is one of the only players that we've really ever seen just say, you know what, Hell sounds good today, and just picks Hell. And then nobody does anything against it, and he just gets the free cast all game, and it's awful. Don't ever go against Paul's Hell.
And honestly, I think we're seeing that because of the surge in popularity from Doom Orb. Now that it gives so much MP5 and is so easy to build into in the early game, we're seeing a lot of people pick up this item and Hell just really dominating because she doesn't have to go into the Book of Thoth. No more stacking, but taunt in there for Gwig to try and maybe bait out some beads, but no follow-up there as Sino wants to actually invade this speed buff, but Blink in from Civil to try and stop him.
I don't know about that one there, Sino. You didn't even get the speed buff onto that one. Fear to Evil and Amanda Warrior's not going to get a chance to get out of the CC from there. Peon's going to make sure to secure that one through. Sybil taking a lot of poke, and he's caught in the middle of all of them. Russian Poppy with a double kill. Hunbot solo starting to come through. Typically, we see him in that jungle role, but it's having the same impact, I would say. 2-0 and 3, a part of every kill so far.
My goodness, like you were saying, I've never seen Hunbot solo played at this level, but honestly, I hope we do see it a little bit more at this level because I am really liking how this is working out for him, especially with the sustain getting nerfed soon. Oh, flick in from Quick, they're holding that thought real quick. Sops getting pulled in, and Sops goes down, actually using the passive to come back to life, but Sops, bud, you're not going to be able to pick that up when you're dead.
Hey, they got the red buff, though. That's the important part. Your mid laner is happy. Yeah, I died, but hey, did we get that red buff? Yes, we did. So Sops to make sure to secure that one for his own life. I think really the only Hunbot solo I've ever seen would be Cyclone Spin. But that was back in a meta where Cyclone just played whatever he wanted to, and you couldn't do anything against it because Cyclone was a god. I mean, he was playing Awilish solo, Kali solo, Bakasura solo. I mean, he was playing anything and everything to get his hands on a lot of assassins. I just realized I named how many there. Cope with no overhead kick, no ultimate.
Let's use it.
Not gonna be able to get out of that one, unfortunately. Cope caught right in the middle of that Pillar of Agony. But Manda Warrior on the rotation with the dazzling offensive. A quick cleanse and a Pigon will make sure that it's basically useless, but now stuck inside the cages. Sino taking quite a bit of poke. Manda Warrior still going through, and Sops dashing in aggressively under the tower will make sure to pick up that kill. Great pull, but Russian Poppy in from the back.
Nice damage there coming out of Pigon to secure that kill. Sybil going up into the sky to try and get out. Sops with 1 HP. The shield from the Horus ultimate able to save his life as no one's able to follow that up. But look at this right-hand side here.
Wow.
Trying to dive in on the left side, but Hunbot's going to contest this speed buff with the Robin, and looks like he did not get it, but Robin's going to be happy to just walk away from that one with his life as this monkey has been going bananas this game. Honestly, these rotations have been insane. 6 kill participation out of the 8. Lincoln from Sybil actually on this left-hand side into the stun. Beads are popped, but Stewart has no mana. A little bit more damage is going to do it.
Over the top comes Cope with the Mystic Rush, and Diesel will clean up the final hit onto it. A good taunt out of Quig. Was able to keep Stewart alive for just a short amount of time. But Stewart, unfortunately, just too low in health and not enough mana to really suffice for anything. His only option there was to turn and fight. As his Mando Warriors here, he's going to get no stun onto Sino. Not able to find it there. Sino now on the back end of everything. Dash back to the safety of Pigon, who will give him a good heal. But it's not going to be enough out of Sops. The trade out will go in favor, once again, Russian Poppy's favor.
Ooh, Sino still with 1 HP. Mano on the backside, able to pick him off, but blink out from Cope. The overhand smash not going to be fast enough to take him out. Stun onto Pigon. Pigon's getting pretty low here, getting knocked up on the backhand side, but Cope is even lower, running away to these backhands and trying it away, but Pigon will get that last hit with the Hell One, being able to just keep it on, man. Pigon in these fights getting low, but these Hell heals have been coming in so clutch.
Not just that, Russian Poppy playing the god perfectly throughout these fights, bobbing and weaving as much as he can with that Sacred Monkey, priority picking every single target, making sure not to spend too much time on a single person, recognizing I don't have the cooldowns to keep fighting this guy. I can throw a couple of basics, but I'm going to turn to another opponent for me. Make sure that way we can guarantee that one. Diesel getting guaranteed into the airstrike, but he's going to get a guaranteed ultimate off of his own there. Diesel gonna get the stun onto Quig. Quig looked like he was charging up that ultimate for the CC immunity. He's not gonna get it off in time, so Diesel will make it out. Rotation in from Sops. He's gonna put a little bit of poke onto Quig and Pigon. The Horse ultimate, trying to find a location through. It's gonna go right down on top of Pigon, but he's gonna be able to get the cleanse off before the knockup goes through. And Sybil helping the team up to take down Quig will be good. Pigon trapped inside the cage with no cleanse for himself. Coach's gonna pick that one up. Mando Warrior with the dazzling offensive won't find the stun onto Russian Poppy. A quick purification bead will make sure that he gets out of the stun, but he's not gonna make it out for much longer as Sut picks him up. And Stewart, short to fall after a couple more basics, is all that's necessary. Cope gonna dive under the tower. We'll get the root, but the Aegis is good for a short amount of time until Cope finally picks him up. Delayed deicide out of Egirl, greater than everything. Now only Sino here to try and stop this Gold Fury.
They see Sino on the backhand side, and Sino is just waiting, biding his time, but the ultimate break in and Pillar of Agony all together. Sino grabs on, Diesel grabs Sino, but Quig's got to get away, and I don't even know who got that Gold Fury.
Looked like Egirl was able to pick up the Gold Fury. A good attempt out of the Hades, but unfortunately Sino just not enough, even with the help of Defender of Olympus, just not enough protections online to help him live through 5 players. They didn't get Sybil. They got Sybil for a Gold Fury. I mean, Egirl is definitely taking that trade every day, especially with another kill on it. 6 kills in their favor during that fight to get that Gold Fury.
That honestly brought Team Gilly pretty close to getting even, but unfortunately there they did trade their jungler out once again. And I'm honestly here, like, I know that Sino's got a good idea here with the Hades, but I don't know if I'm a believer quite yet. I've got to see a little more from him in these fights to really understand what the thought process is with the Hades, because honestly, I feel like this might just be holding him back.
It's kind of one of those things of, yeah, it's got its moments where it hits, but so far it hasn't shown that it's better than any other jungler for me here, especially with a name like Sino has built for himself. This just seems like it's, like you said, holding itself back more than anything. He could be doing more with a much burstier and safer god, or something that could just get in, get out a lot better than Hades can. He's got Blink, so does Cope. He goes right in onto Pagon. The ultimate out of Sops is good. The Mystic Rush, however, is not, and Sino will pick it up with the last auto attack.
On this right-hand side, the Mando's getting chased down by Quig. Everyone in tow, but it looks like the target is going to be shifted over to this Pyromancer. They're going to be sustaining so much, but Sops is on the chopping block next, forcing the jump out. There's no tier 1 tower there. Blink over the wall from Quig, forces out the beads. 1 more second left, and there's the taunt, and Russian Poppy grabs Sops. Nice and easy there. Well executed by Team Gilly, able to grab this lead right on back up, but
There's
Mando's
no
not done.
way.
Oh my goodness, Mando.
They just gave it to him. Mando walked up and they said, all right, we'll stop hitting it, I guess. They got the ultimate out of him. Egirl's able to pick up the Pyromancer, but now the Fire Giant is a big target for them. With no ultimate, Mando Warrior has no chance of standing up to them. Sybil is still here. does have his blink available, I believe, but it's, gonna go straight into it. The Team Gilly will get the Fire Giant and likely will get Civil on top of it because he's not able to charge that ultimate in time to get him out of danger. Great attempt there by Civil, but just not enough.
Unfortunate there. 2 enemies going down as well as that Fire Giant. And Stewart is here to prevent this tier 2 going down on the left-hand side as well. Diesel actually got a ton of solo farm by just sitting on this left-hand side. And it looks like Cope is going to be able to grab that mid tower as well. But overhead kick's gonna get him out of that ultimate, but Sino's not done here yet. He's got the Fire Giant and the speed buff for Stephanie ultimate coming out as well. But Athena's about to be here! Turning that around might be possible because Russian Poppy showed up as well. Ultimate is almost ready to go. Sops has no beads either, so this could be a really good fight.
Russian Poppy able to get the somersault off to get himself back to the safety of his team, but that Defender of Olympus, the only thing that kept Sino alive during that. Without it, he surely would have fallen in the fight. Team Gilly are going to try and push their advantage. They have the Fire Giant. They've got about 1,000 gold to their name. A little less, a little more. The big thing is here is they've got a lot of towers to still take down. 4 of them on the map.
4 on both sides here, as we saw just a minute ago. Both Diesel and Cope are pushing that. Cope looking to get a little bit picked out here as Diesel also gets feared, but the blink in and the beads from Sino able to try and keep them held down. Russian Poppy hitting those backhands to try and just get his cooldowns back. Jump getting out there as he's stunned, but Mando's up by himself. Stewart and Quig together forcing out the dazzling offensive. Cleanse there is going to be good, and Sino is trying to chase him down. Civil providing the peel, but now Civil is stuck on this backhand side, but Cope blinks in. Cope grabs Stewart, and there's just a whole mess going on here. Diesel falls down, or Diesel grabs Sino rather, and Cope is still going forward. For the ultimate off the mark, not able to grab another one, but Cleanse there from the stun of the Russian Poppy is going to be good. Diesel with another kill, but Pigon trades back onto Sops. Aegis there for Diesel, but oh my goodness, what is going on anymore?
Pagon's gonna be able to get the cleanse off. It is still living at a little over half health, but not for much longer as Mando picks him up. Russian Poppy, the last one alive for the team. Gonna get an overhead smash off, but it's not gonna be enough damage to anybody. Stun out and time Rick to end it off. Cope maybe gets the last hit for it. And another deicide for E-Girl over everything. The Oni Fury is about to respawn, and that will be their next target. A massive fight looks so well for Team Gilly, but the big thing I want to call out here is Russian Poppy used that Fear No Evil way too early in that fight to try and get a single target pick, and because of that, they lacked the hard CC necessary to really fight back in those instances. Pigon had good damage, but there's nothing like a Fear No Evil in the middle of 5 that would have surely granted them a massive kill on the Mando Warrior. Instead, he gets to live and ends up turning that fight around for his team.
Like you said, all their CC was used just too early. Not only that, though, Stewart used the airstrike offensively and just got eliminated at the beginning of the fight there, playing just a little bit too offensively there. As Jingwei, of course, you are one of the safest gods in the game, but sometimes you just need to be a little bit more patient with that, and that's really what we have to start seeing out of Team Gilly, is their patience, because, again, Sino just getting picked out here, able to be kept alive for a little bit by the Defender of Olympus from Quig, but we just need to see these guys group up more. Let's see them play as a team. They have the ability to keep this together, but they need to start ramping it up here, or else we are going to see all of these towers go down, and that gold lead is just going to get more and more disparate. Is that the right word? Yeah, bigger. It's going to get bigger.
The disparity is definitely going to be growing ever more here because E-Girl is grouping up. They're taking these fights. When they finally get together as 5, they are dominating these team fights, and that's because Russian Poppy and the rest of Gilly are just pulling the trigger a little too early. Big ult in from Sybil's gonna hit 4. Cope's gonna come down with a Mystic Rush. That will take down Quig. A big on pop. Big into the skies goes Stewart offensively and will pay the price for a double kill onto Cope. Russian Poppy, maybe the next one. He's gonna get rooted out. Purification beads. And Sybil continuing through, but Pigon comes through with a massive burst of damage to take down Sobs. That's one of their heavy hitters now off the grid.
Russian Poppy blinks back in there using the Sacred Monkey to try and maybe book out E-Girl, but they're just gonna collectively back out. Pyromancer is up. but they don't have the sustain like Team Gilly do. Sino and Pigon full health here, trying to maybe see if they can pick up someone. They don't notice Cope on the backhand side. They might be in trouble here. 4 versus 2. Looks like Sino's gonna have to use the beats here, and Pigon can't run away. Diesel grabs the kill onto Pigon, and the Pyromancer is next. Maybe even the Fire Giant.
I want to see some defense here on Sino. All we've seen from him so far is pure power items between the boots, the Bancrofts, a Polynomicon picked up as well. Not only that, the Obshard and what looks to be a Typhon's Fang. I'm not seeing any way for Sino to really stay alive. He's depending so heavily on this lifesteal that's being anti-healed so harshly by Sops and Copes. With just their 2 items alone, they're able to shut down almost all the healing that Sino needs. He's got to get some defenses, or these Pillar of Agonies are not going to be enough.
That is something to mention here. Another reason why I was super concerned about this Hades in this comp is that you've already got a Hell. You're going to have 14 million anti-heal items bought on the enemy team because, oh my god, it's a Hell. And you're going to put Hades into that comp where you are basically surrounded in lifesteal. That's your whole thing. That's your shebang. That's why I was concerned about that to begin with, but it looks like the Fire Giant here is going to be half health. Quig doing his best to try and keep the enemy team off of it on the backhand side. It's Mando versus Stewart, and on the right-hand side, Cope versus Russian Poppy. Stewart grabs Mando, and the Fire Giant goes to E-Girls, but Cope goes down. Sops grabs Stewart, Diesel grabs Quig, and
a lot of damage coming out. Russian Poppy gonna be jumped on here by Sybil, and Sobs using that Sacred Monkey will bounce himself back to safety and looking to possibly re-engage as Sino goes in with a big blink and the big burst damage out of the Hades. May not be able to heal, but he can still put out those big numbers. Sino dashing in, and as well as Russian Poppy with the Sacred Monkey. Big slow off of the somersault, taunts in onto 2 of them with Sino. Sybil, the last man standing, the only one left now with the Fire Giant because of this stupendous team fight coming out of Team Gilly. You can't use the minions for too much defense because Pagon's got a giant circle. We'll finish off with a big deicide here out of Team Gilly, their first one of the game.
this is going to help them tremendously to come back. Eliminating that Fire Giant from every single member of Team E-Girl is going to be just exactly what they needed. P-Gun's going to be able to heal these minions up as well on this right-hand side, and that tower is as good as gone since Russian Poppy is zoning away Mando. Not to mention that, but that Polynomicon is also going to do wonders to help them push. So between that, Tier 2 tower falls down on this right-hand side. Gold's coming up soon, but Mando is able to slow down Russian Poppy from getting away while P-Gun grabs that blue. An excellent pickup there for the Hell.
Mando going to keep boxing here against Russian Poppy. So not level 20 yet on the Amaterasu, but not too much of a worry as they do have almost all 6 items built online. Frostbound Hammer, something I noticed earlier but didn't really get a chance to mention here. What's the reasoning going into this item here? Typically, we kind of see it as more of like a, not really a troll item, but it's a very niche-picked item. Why are we seeing it here on Mando?
Hold that thought 1 second. We'll get back to that as soon as this fight is over. At the Gold Fury, taunt in onto Sybil. Stun trying to come out here, but Quig actually still immune from that cleanse from Hell, so not going to be doing anything with those vines there. It stops, and the Gold Fury might just be given up there to the side of Team Gilly. Gonna be able to grab a nice little chunk of change in their pocket, gonna be bringing that gold lead right on back down. They're now within striking distance, but at this point, gold's not a big deal. So let me get back to what you were saying about the what were you saying? The Frostbound, yes. Okay, so Amaterasu has gone into a lot of attack speed items, as you can see. So between that, with the Shogun's Kusari, the Ninja Tabai, and the Berserker Shield, she's got a ton of attack speed and is able to reapply that Frostbound really frequently. And so it's really going to give P-Gun another thought to have during these fights as to whether or not to cleanse this slow. And because both Hades and Hell kind of really only have one way to get out of these fights, it's really going to be the question of, can I really jump in here? Or can I use my cleanse here? Because I'm going to get slowed to death if I don't do it at the right time.
And I think a big point out to that is picking it up so late into the build as a 4th item. By that point, almost everybody's level 12 at least to get their 2nd relic. But hold that now. Sybil pulled into the middle of all of it. Mando Warrior going to get pushed by it with Fear No Evil. Caught out into the middle of all. Under a quarter health. Everybody's turned their eyes to the wrong target as Sino is getting bursted by the tower. Sops will find it with the ult out of the Persephone, and Cope trying to box out against Russian Poppy. 4 versus 5 now. Team Gilly has to run, but look at Mando the whole time. After he got left alone, he's just been healing himself up in the backline. Thanks to that Berserker Shield and the Aura stance switches out of this Ama, getting himself back to nearly full. He was almost dead during that.
That was just a miscommunication there for Team Gilly. Sino's like, I got 3 of them in my ult under tower, guys. What's going on? What are we looking at? And Mando's like, they're looking at me, guys. So that engagement from Mando to distract Team Gilly was excellent, and I'm really glad to see him do that. And that's really what you need to be doing as Amaterasu, or really any frontline warrior at this point of the game, is you need to be the distraction, the bully. You need to say, no, you can't walk past me. You've got to go through me first if you want to get my squishies. And that's what we love to see here for Team E-Girl over everything. But team fight here under this mid tower.
Diesel's gonna get the rewind off, so everything Russian Poppy put into him is all for naught now. Russian Poppy himself has to jump out. Pagon barely making it out himself. Mando trying to go back into the back line. Will get the dazzling offensive onto Stewart and dashing in to try and get Pagon, but he's gonna get a big heal off now. Mando may have bit off more than he can chew, as he will likely fall under this Phoenix. Someone, finally Quig, will get that last in hand, but it's a 1-for-1 trade in a tier 2 tower, going in favor of E-Girl over everything. Again, Mando playing distraction so the rest of his team can get the more important objective.
What an excellent job we've seen from Mando over and over again. Trading his life for that tower might have been a good call here, but he's going to be dead for another 40 seconds. So should Team Gilly decide to just zoom towards that fire giant, they might be able to pick a good fight. But Stewart is still dead for 20 seconds, so they could just go for the Pyromancer and call it even, or we might be able to see Team E-Girl group up here and maybe contest a fight when most of their damage on the side of Team Gilly is not present.
Sybil gonna take a little bit of damage as Cope going into the back line. Fear no evil out of Russian Poppy, puts Cope down to half and forces out the purification beads. But a big fracture out of Sybil is gonna force the beads out of Russian Poppy. Into the sky goes Sybil, and into the ground goes Russian Poppy. Cope Baby and Diesel team up to pick up 2 more. Sybil getting one of his own onto Sino. It's only Quig and Stewart left, and I don't think Quig's gonna make it out for much longer as Cope picks up his 3rd kill. Stewart, the last one standing against 4 players. Airstrike out just to distract for as long as possible, but a big stun out of Diesel will help ensure it, and Cope seals the deal. Deicide for E-Girl.
5 members down on the side of Team Gilly, and the Phoenixes are exposed. And Sybil and Mando can certainly trade off tanking as between the 2 of them. They've got a ton of sustain, but not only that, we've got a level 20 Kronos swinging at that bird to bring it down. But here comes the Titan fight, and all members are still down for Team Gilly. This might just be it. Sybil jumping into the fountain for a little bit of an endgame BM there, but that's going to be the game. E-Girl versus everything takes the win.
Big fight out of E-Girl. Without their hunter there was not as much damage as they had thought coming out of Team Gilly. The hunter, you really don't realize how much damage they do until you don't have them. Just getting a little too aggressive there. You have to have all of your damage dealers going into them, because sure, they're missing Mando Warrior, but Mando Warrior has a teleport and can get right back to the fight in an instant if he has to. And with that, the amount of anti-heal and damage just coming out of the side of E-Girl was just too much for Team Gilly to handle. The big problem that you mentioned here is, yeah, Sino's a lot of damage, but he's also a lot of lifesteal. When you don't get that lifesteal off in the middle of 5 people, you're kind of just a sitting duck.
Truly, though, we did see a couple of really interesting things, though, from Team Gilly, in that the Hoonbot solo did significantly better than I thought it would, and I'm really excited to see if other teams are kind of picking up on that little crumb of a hint that, oh, maybe having a big circle ultimate on your solo laner that makes them really scared of it, pops their beads, whatever it might be, is kind of good, especially when solo laners have been more willing to pick up the beads recently. Having an ultimate like that in a team fight is just going to be so much better. Not to mention that also opens a slot up for your jungler to also pick something else that could be pretty significant there as well in the beads burning department.
I think the lack of a big burst ultimate on the side of Team Gilly is the ultimate demise of them. Yes, you have Fear No Evil, big circle. You have Sino, big circle. You have Pagon throwing damage out of them. I think that if there was a mage with a big hitting ultimate like a Kukulkan to follow up after those Fear No Evils, or to follow up with Sino, it might have made those fights more impactful. Instead, you're just depending on the base damage of those abilities. And you go over everything with the amount of anti-heal they built up. Still very impressive for Pigon to get almost 19,000 healing done during that game. But ultimately, it comes down to just the stronger team fights out of E-Girl over everything to get the victory over Team Gilly. And with that, we're going to end it off here for the night. I have been J Mac Tucker. With me has been Lerming for the Battle of Asgard Finals. Big win out of E-Girl for everything. And they've shown us that, hey, it's a winning team name. Everybody make sure to use that into the future. See y'all next time.